Well, ladies and gentlemen, I'm back for one more episode or so of Thebes. I am ready to put an end to this series, even though I originally wanted to end on the end date, but as you well know, that at this time the Marius update and the Heirs of the Alexander DLC have been released. And no, this is not the new version of the game. This is still the old Thebes series. But this day of recording is on Friday, February 19th, 2021. So it's a couple of days after the update came out, but I did not update that game yet, as I unplugged the internet from this computer just to prevent it from updating, because I am not done with this series, at least in my terms. And we're going to end this on my terms. Because there is one thing that I still wanted to do, or particularly against Rome, and that is the control of the Italia region. We own the southern half of it, but now we must control the northern half of Italia. And as you can see, we do have all the areas that we have thanks to this here. These are the areas of Italia that we do not have under that control yet. And of course, these guys too, which just fabricate that claim simply for the sake of it as time goes on. But, however, the aggressive expansion is pretty high now. Though fortunately we have a new vassal. Well, he's been new, it's just he fought in the Egyptian conflict. So we'll switch it to appeasing stance. And we were able to prevent the civil war from occurring, as we are fresh off from that conflict, as troops are going to be heading to their positions, and particularly sent some to Magna Graecia and southern Italia areas to be preparing for the war against Rome once again. And of course, the two armies here in Macedonian, Thrace regions, Ilaria too, because that's a second conflict zone. But mind you, their recovery rate isn't as good as there used to be, which we could say that they're still in a recovery period after we gave them such a thrashing. And of course this goof, there's that word again, needs to get his way back up here. While all the troops will be sailing to their places. To your places. We'll figure out where do we put you from there. Should head over there to Alexandria, where transport awaits. And also we've sent this army towards the Africa region to be stationed there in case of Carthaginian aggression, which we're still drilling our troops in preparation of Carthaginian aggression. Even though I do have one claim of the Africa region, but that's for just in case of Carthaginian aggression. But I am more focused on Rome, and I want to end this series by controlling Italia, because it has many cities. Without them, Rome would just be, reduce their manpower so much that it would not be a threat to Hellenic interests. And also for the future of the Imperator Rome on the Lord Master channel, I have no clue what the next series is going to be. I mean, I have an idea, But it could be one of those things that I'm going to be very vague about when I get my hands on that new update and DLC, once I finish recording this series finally. So, it's just to see if my idea for this next series that I will be recording in secret, just to see if it's practical or not. That's what I'll be doing in my free time, whenever I'm not recording this other series that I'm doing over there, as I'm wrapping up Bosnia as well as the ongoing CK2 Prussia series, as it's relatively new and it'll be ongoing. And as for Imperator, well, you're just gonna have to wait probably a couple of weeks before I will make that announcement of that new playthrough of what's gonna be. So, again, it's been a great run with Thebes, or Hellenic League, whichever you wish to call it. But however, we're not done yet. This may take 1 or 2 episodes, as we'll be selling to the physicians and get them back. So yes, Arvasus, who's leading the Royal Guard, he's victorious and he's also become shrewd. And also will have a child soon. Here's your reasons of why you're stationed here, and damned light infantry. That would slow him down. Who needs more? Yeah, this is support group. Go ahead. You're transferring to this one. The cavalry will be stationed here, even though out of all commanders, he's the best. It's not only a case of Carthaginian aggression, but also dealing with desert barbarians. Start drilling. Present. Any unruly provinces? Central Delta. Central Delta. Sorry. No. Well, I guess I'm not going to be leaving Egypt. Heading to Ostia. To Magna Graecia. Where's the other guy? Ah, there you are. We'll head to here. Well, actually... get off of here. Also, in 4 months, about to get another military tradition. Alright, a son. Eratosthenes, or Eratosthenes. That's a bit of a complex name for me to pronounce. I'll rename it. Give me pick up a list of ancient Greek names as listed in the game. This is why I save all my notes on this here tablet of mine. Well, since I'm a guy who leads in the army and feels like I'm a hero in this thing, how about we name another strong Greek name, one would think. Leonidas. Yep. That means lion. It's been a long time since we checked Gordian, since we were just focused mainly on that Egyptian war. Would you look at this? That's almost to a metropolis. Which again, I encouraged people to migrate to Gordian. And it's very much civilized here. And boy, I cannot wait when I get my hands on that Marius update as soon as I get the internet plugged in once I'm done with this series. Because all these buildings here adds up civilization value, which is what's new. Military colonies. But you're gonna want to go down this path. This city-states path. And also I would say for this Theban series, of what else did I learn from this series compared to the other two with Tarentum and Massalia. Ooh, new statesman. Guess you'll do. Is that what I've learned about, playing as Thebes in the Hellenic League? Since this is the very first playthrough where I became a great power, holding this many territories, that I've learned how to manage large countries now. Oh, it's not totally disloyal. Oh, this is not the capital of the Central Delta. Sorry about that. Here I am. They're still getting here. Taking its sweet time. A what? Oh, Royal Bodyguard for the Mile of Armies. Let's see now. Hey, guess what? You're fired, and then you're not fired. Them's the rules. Governor of Thrace, the Italiote. Oh, super corrupt, because he's deceitful and uncaring. Clearly that is a bad man, but however, he's not corrupt enough. Although we could increase it if I were to, give him free hands just to make him even more corrupt. But it's also to prevent a civil war. He has arthritis. Well, again, he's head of the family. Again, let's see what happens. Just, what is he governor of? Thrace. Ah, yes. There's your problem. I was thinking about giving him free hands so we could make him so corrupt that I would put him on trial, but we would risk fighting a rebellion here, much like what we did in the attack region. But we could deal with that. You know what? Do it! This is just to prevent a civil war. And it's going to make him even more corrupt. Then we'll put his ass on trial. Station yourself at Rome. Yeah, but the problem is we were never really invested in border forts, but I think that's the least of the worries. Now, Guardian. Back to where we were. So... oh, you know what? Move the population over here. Let's make it a metropolis. I've been wanting to make Gordion a metropolis. That would be the first metropolis since Thebes. What we mean is inland area. This is not a coastal city. It became a metropolis inland because it's our capital. But now, for the longest time, we considered Gordion to be our secondary capital of the Hellenic League. In case, you know, Thebes were to fall, and I would make Gordion a capital. But you cannot make it a capital unless the dominant culture is Boeotian. But there are far more Phrygians than there are Boeotians. It's going to cost plenty of money, but plenty of political influence, which I'm hardly ever going to use that. Knowing that we have an upcoming war coming up. Yeah, best in that. And don't forget that you also have them. Yeah. Yeah, Dardania. But again, our manpower, we're fully ready for the next war, which we'll probably have to start sooner rather than later. Don't forget about that piece of land with low food where you could take that fort very easily. In fact, there is no fort at all, which it'll fall under the influence thanks to vassal subject. Should be here by now. There you are. Just the man I wanted to see. Yeah. Plotting quietly. Can't pay him all that money. $63 holdings. Jiminy. How many friends do I have? None. But, you know, just let it be, alright? I'll remain in Egypt for a bit. Especially that royal visitation is going to help a bit. Only 85 ships. Now the real question is, Where is the Roman fleet stationed at? Skilled, not corrupt. A Roman. Alrighty. Oh yeah. Very effective. Well, since you're not going to come in, I'll take my leave then. Governor of Serenica is very disloyal. Because, you know, he's a pretender. You're way down the line. No, you're second in line, excuse me. You were just knocked off of that. Well, sorry about your damn luck. And there's also the governor of Italia, who's also, well, he's gonna die a lunatic before even a thought of civil war would even come up, so don't worry about it. An empire-wide civil war will not be good to anyone. To Pompeia. Pompeia. Again. There's the Roman fleet. Don't start any wars. Are you disloyal again? Barely. It's gonna need you in position for the upcoming conflict. Probably want to start drilling at the border, just to show them that we are ready. I was originally going to send them to Greece. And because of wartime circuses, we'll have to bring the cavalry up here as well. He's got the pox. Just flog his ass. It'll show him. Once that old general's dead, move the army. I'll be right behind you. Be heading there. One more year and Gordian will be a metropolis, just as our forefathers had promised. Because there is something fascinating about the Phrygia region. And our income is so great that drilling troops would be the best option. But be careful. Dementia. 68. You know what? Just do keep drilling. When he dies, all the loyalty dies with him. The greatest threat to any nation comes not from without, but from within. A constant fight between those who would name themselves heir can consume countless resources and lives. Our spies at the court are certain that Hippocrates arrested Nimon, a man who has made no secret of his ambitions for the throne. His plan to ensure his future by doing away with the competition. We should keep a watchful eye on Hippocrates. I know where the money is going, but I'll just say we should put more faith in our subjects. He better not kill my son, otherwise, yeah. Nobody wants to have their future alternated. Where's your loyalty? Good. And also I have to mention is about to die pretty soon. Hippocrates is spending increasing quantities of time with another petty claim to our throne. Enadius. Well, these two are natural enemies, so it might be wise to be particularly careful with this developing situation. Unfortunately, we are unable to acquire much information on what the two conspirators were discussing. Does it matter? Man's gonna die a lunatic. I'll just say troubling. No need to throw money into that. This would be good. Let's save it. Ah. Get in here. We're shipping you up there to Pella. Hippocrates chose to make a preemptive move against Central Marcus, arrested them today. Apparently overcome his own abilities. Unfortunately, due to poor marshalability, the attack went in favor of the attacker, though the defender luckily managed to escape, having only been wounded. Bravo, I say! This friend of the governor said, listen. Oh, you're taking on a frail wise man. I don't know why I say bravo to that. Is it because of the infighting? As long as it's not against my child? Is that what this is about? Yes, there's no more forces stationed in Egypt, but we may move the cavalry over here to Illyria. In fact, do so. Not that one. This one. Go pick them up. For the national tax. Phrygian. Of course. Is Carthage going after somebody? Yes. Just that little war. Yeah, give him the money. Now here's Gordian. 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Now it is officially a metropolis. It can hold more people if it wants to. As long as the food can hold. Alright. stationed in Thrace. This is to be on this side, wherever the Roman fleet is. And Rome's at war against one of the tribals. Hey, get in here. I'm sending you to Ilaria. Carthage just ended their war. I don't think they're that stupid to take them. So yeah, we may have to bring these two with us to that war because we just want to make damn sure. The Persian Empire is not up to anything. Ah, so that's why they kept their manpower so low, because of that attrition due to one of the armies stationed somewhere. That makes them vulnerable to attack, particularly the Mauryaans. Which I'm surprised at this point they have not united India as Bharatvarsha. They have yet to do that. As the General of the 5th Stratus. Oh yes, totally forgot. Now, 5th Stratus. He's skilled, but and also suffering from dysentery. He'll be a much better general if he is treated right. You know what? Treat him, and I'll befriend him. I think he might be good for us, despite his corruption. So we got our best general on this front, while we're sending, the cavalry to Ilaria, where the greatest general is going to be there. Nowhere near threat of a civil war. We're gonna be alright. Continue the journey for a while longer. At least we have a NATO as a client state. What? Oh, Balherica medic. You're not gonna turn my boy Egyptian. You're fired or not fired, got it? You're not telling that boy nothing. You need to be stationed over there. They're just enslaving efficiencies. He'll do. Faster transport. To Kakadon. There's the Roman fleet. It's half their fleet. Tyranny increases means threshold for civil war. There's the other half. Infection. It ain't gonna kill me. Alright. He'll stay loyal with me. Two areas to colonize. Oh, one. Step in the right direction. Close here. Alrighty. Use the best of your abilities. Even though you're deceitful and last, but still, you're a relatively young man. It's a good thing we have not sent that other army over. Take your time. They ain't going anywhere. Just take the road. When you're done with them, head to here. Just for a bit. Do drill boat. Their fleets are in position. Get back up there. Oh, I guess you're gonna do that for us. Let's just head this way. You can handle it. Minis is at it again. It doesn't matter. So let me see. 1, 2, 1, 2, 3. Because what I do typically is 3 armies on this front and 3 armies on the other. So we need that 1 army down here. Get in here. To here. Then that'll be it for troop transportation. Hart stopped after sighting a comet. Oh, I know what to do. ain't gonna do nothing. Very slow gains now. Tributary. Actually, what? Just want everybody drilled. Okay, let's reiterate here. As that aggressive expansion goes down slowly, when it gets down to 10, start the war. And I believe that that I said that it will be wrapping up this series soon for by fighting Rome one more time to take Italia. And then once after we control the entire region of Italia, that's when I will consider an end to this Thebes series. Yes, because I really want to get it over with and get on with the Marius update to be installed here along with the Heirs of Alexander DLC. And I will be recording the new series for Imperator Rome in secret. Not going to tell you what country I'm going to be playing as. I'm just going to be very vague about it. But it's only for one reason. And that is, well, I just want to see, because if I should play as this nation, and is it possible I can do this thing, which I came up with this idea in my head. And if it works, then I will be recording plenty of episodes until I feel they're ready to be posted on the Lord Master channel. That's what I have in mind. Alright? So don't speculate. I know some of the features that they'd be adding on this game. And yes, I know we're losing a lot of money because we're drilling everybody. What? That's far too much money. We'll just say, wish them luck finding funds elsewhere. And this is also actually going to be the shortest episode I've ever filmed for this series, but this is just what we call it, a prelude to one more war with Rome. So this is second to last episode, to be technical. And also, I also wanted to say, again, I was out of power for 4 days, so that's why we could not have provided Imperator Rome's episodes for last week. So this is why we're posting 2 episodes in one day. This one and the next one. Just in case. That means you have to get the new honor guard. So, of the honor guard, we've had the Phrygian, we have the Bahag. I think we should get another Phrygian honor guard. Because, again, Iberos don't really care about them that much, of the integrated cultures, which in fact, I don't know why we even integrated them. They're the ones that rebelled against us in the first place. Maybe we should demote them. Maybe. Can't guarantee it. What do you got? 10. Reckless, intelligent, brave, honor guard. Alrighty. You'll be managing this army. What did I tell you about the Phrygian military elite in the Hellenic League? They're in charge of that sort of thing. Now, where the heck was I? Yes, I was out of power for 4 days. Could not provide episodes for that week, so this is why there are 2 episodes today. This one, and the one that's coming immediately after, which will be the final episode of Thebes. Oh, what is that World Tutor doing? He's been doing a very disappointing job. Well, I hired and unfired him. These people are having issues reporting back to us how difficult they are to work with. When talking to him, man, it's simply a matter of bureaucracy being difficult, and that the funds for his office have been lacking lately. He makes sure to mention repeatedly that it would most likely work out if only they were given more funds to work with. Hey, you're not going to be given anything, alright? Deal with it. It's the reason why we're doing it. We're not in any preparation for the next war, so we take less casualties. But it's also for the, get the military experience up, just to continue on our route down that way. Now it's just only disloyal governors. And also I'm depressed. Oh, I forgot to treat myself. Use my personal funds to treat myself. What the hell was I doing? I need to be more popular. We need to turn this to an empire. Why haven't I done that yet? Why not end the series as an empire? The Hellenic Empire. We have enough territories. It's over 600. Well, a lot of troops. Oh, I got it. Where is it? Hold the games. Even though it's... Yeah, it'll be enough. Hold games. God dang it. This one. Now here's something that I'm willing to pay my money on. Ah, barely. That precision was starting to trick me. Now, please, help me. In true Hellenic fashion, our benevolent ruler Abraeus the Beneficent. I gained a nickname? Did I just got that nickname just for holding the games? So yes, the common folk love gladiators, chariot races, and athletics even more than they love Abraeus. Luckily, Abraeus knows all this too well. Again, he has ordained that there will be a period of games festivity. While it is not commonplace, many of the common folk and court alike are pondering whether Abraeus himself will take to the sands and prove his brave for all to see. Bring on the challenge! Because on this very day, on this particularly random day of September 28th, the Hellenic League is now the Hellenic Empire. Abraeus the Beneficent Aristodemon, resplendent in the glory of conquest, has eclipsed all other petty kingdoms. A new title is needed for the ruler of the Hellenic Empire. Yes, stability will drop and will adopt the empire government form. It's still called Hellenic League by name, but it is officially an empire now. Now we get to pick all 4 ideas. Let me see. mean, morale is what keeps us in the fight. Discipline is what makes them fight better in combat performance. So stick to what you know best. Now for civic ideas. Yeah, we've always had food problems. I mean, they're doable, it's just... So stick with complex tariffs for economic reasons. Oratory ideas. I've always had problems with corruption, but it's rather a necessity. Loyalty to generals and admirals would be very good to have. And this would be even better. Because if you want to make the biggest of gains. But this is relatively late in the series, so that's not needed, so... We're a militaristic empire, you know, so military administration makes sense. So the generals will stick with us through thick and thin. And popularity is just a matter of... We're highly civilized, so that's not needed. This one's kind of a little hard for me to pick, honestly. Yeah, popularity is fine, but since I lead an army, that's not needed. I can be popular just by holding a triumph for myself, win battles, or do something. Integrated cultures are fine, but... Probably just more loyalty of characters, just to prevent civil wars. So there you have it. Empire. An emperor wields absolute power over the state and usually holds authority over lesser kings and nobles. That's another first time for me in Imperator Rome. I've never played a country that's ever gotten this big, so big, by having 600 territories or more, and an extremely popular ruler to form an empire. So, he is Megas Basilis Abreus. So does that mean if there was a female ruler of Greek Empire, would they call, like, is there a female version of it? Would it be Megas Basilissa? Does anybody know? Asking you, the viewer. He's jealous. Low charisma. It's a negative personality. Oh, they won this war all the way. Grand Hellenic Games. The raging sun beats down our competitors, glistening with oil and sweat. Many weeks of events come and gone, with whispers amok of this final event, the javelin hurling tournament. The crowd jeers with jubilation as Abreus appears, accompanied by garlanded Hellenic League youths. None dare question the majesty of such a titan of competition. As all surely expected, Abreus does away with the competition in characteristic style, with a wreath firmly placed upon his head, adoring the populace of Neapolis, chant to approve firmly. Huzzah! For House Aristodemon! So you don't need the popularity. Neapolis, it's right there. Even though I'm stationed over here. Luca. No longer infectious. As great as I am, unfortunately I'm a bit depressed, but I'm sure I'll get over it. Though the problem with depression is it lowers your finesse and charisma, which is kinda needed these days. As late shakes become humble. But hey, at least under my rule that we finally made Gordian into a Metropolis. Which you can stop that right now. You can, let me see. It's a very civilized area. How corrupt are you? Not at all. There's a lot of unhappy slaves, but we can't please them all. You know, go for social mobility. Slave promotion is allowed. So yeah, Phrygian citizens will become nobles, so on and so forth. Freemen become citizens or whatever. Because as we said, the Phrygian nobles are like part of the military elite. That's what we're simulating at the fact. So now we're building all these other structures, which will be done. Not to mention, it's already Hellenic, but it's going to take a long while to Hellenize the Phrygians to become Boeotians. As good as the Phrygians are, we just rather hear them speaking Greek rather than Phrygian. Yeah, they finished their war, but they're out of money for a bit, so that's going to add a bit of penalty for whatever they're about to have of that little deficit event. Carthage is busy with their war, which means they're fighting against them. Right. That means, yep, Rome is definitely going to be the one last conflict for this series. I'm glad that we are filming this particular episode to see the formation of, from a autocratic monarchy, which has always been part of this series for long, as we never had, you know, demand his resignation right now. You take over. Even though you're going to hurt the research points from there. And what else? It's like throughout the series we've been an autocratic monarchy. I had considered changing to a different form of monarchy, but we never found the time to do so until I saw the opportunity for an empire when that came up. But an imperial cult. So, oh, great. You have to have 4 numbered of deified rulers. Which, deified ruler. Don't have the political influence for that. We do have the popularity, but that takes way too long, and I only did it once, back in the Massalia playthrough. That was for Memnon, one of the great politicians of the time, who, you know, came up with the dream of expanding westward. for trade and whatnot. So, no. Not gonna happen in this series with this whole Imperial cult, even though that sounds interesting. But that doesn't drop stability big time. But it seems like it's more of an alternative form to just an empire. Imperial cult sounds like it's pretty much close to Roman Empire or some other state that does that. I mean, we're not really that divine thinking. And the rest is just that old pantheon. Tier 3 form, we will be unable to form any other country of the same or lower tier. So, yes, uniting Alexander's empire will not happen in this series, but we decide to form our own empire, which will only go as far east as Philistia and Phrygia. And we keep forgetting that a little bit of the Colchis area as well. And with that, ladies and gentlemen, I want to end the episode on that note. Remember, second episode, one last time for Thebes, one last war for Rome, for the control of the whole Italia region. That's what I wanted long. Fighting, continue on this series just to fight Carthage the last few times would just be, not only will be a knockdown, drag-out type of war, but also it's a bit of a long way to, try to conquer New Carchedon, as what would be called that in Greek language. But what is this area called? Mastini. We do not have the range for that. No. Italia is going to be the goal here. So we'll hope you join us one more time for this Theban-led Hellenic Empire. An empire for all Greeks, and Phrygians, Egyptians, Punics, Romans even. An empire for Hellenic, for all. Hope you join us just one more time. We'll see you next time, but until then, so long for now, and Marius updates will be coming soon to you.